we mentioned Dwight Howard's diet.
Yes.
And this is from NBCSports.com. For those of you who didn't hear this a couple of days ago, Dwight Howard's love for candy is infamous. Though in recent years he has talked more about healthy habits, just how much candy did he consume at his peak? This is from Baxter Holmes of ESPN. By February's All-Star break, it was time for a full-blown intervention. And Dr. Kate Shanahan, the Lakers nutritionist, led the charge, speaking to Dwight Howard by phone from her office in Napa, California.
Is this the same guy that wrote the peanut butter and jelly story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Howard's legs tingled. He complained, but she noticed he was having trouble catching passes, too, as if his hands were wrapped in oven mitts. Well, he quietly admitted his fingers also tingled. Shanahan, with 2 decades of experience in the field, knew Howard possessed a legendary sweet tooth, and she suspected his consumption of sugar was causing a nerve dysfunction called, I don't know what this is, dysesthesia? Dysesthesia? How would you pronounce that, Dan Bernstein?
Dysesthesia.
All right, dysesthesia, which she'd seen in patients with pre-diabetes. She got that pre-sugar. She urged him to cut back on sugar for 2 weeks. If that didn't help, she said she vowed to resign. To alter Howard's diet, Shanahan first had to understand it. After calls with his bodyguard, chef, and a personal assistant, she uncovered a startling fact. Howard had been scarfing down about 24 chocolate bars worth of sugar every single day for years, possibly as long as a decade. Quote, you name it, he ate it, she says. Hey, take it easy. Skittles, Starburst, Rolos, Snickers, Mars bars, Twizzlers, Almond Joys, Kit Kats, and oh, how he loved Reese's Pieces.
Every day is Halloween when you're Dwight Howard.
He'd eat them before lunch, after lunch, before dinner, after dinner, and like any junkie, he had stashes all over in his kitchen, his bedroom, his car, a fix always within reach. She told his assistants to empty his house, and they hauled out his monstrous candy stash in boxes. Yes, boxes, plural. Howard is 6'11" and muscular, and he does have strenuous workouts daily. He can handle far more food than the average person. Still, dear Lord, that's a lot of candy. This anecdote was part of Holmes' fantastic story on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and their place in the NBA. I suggest reading it in full. 24 candy bars, the equivalent to 24 candy bars a day worth of sugar. Like,
I can't even begin to think about how you get to that point.
I feel guilty having my Reese's Cups or a Snickers, every other day or something like that. But
I can binge every once in a while. Usually on Halloween, I'll have a couple nights where I will winnow down the children's bags of candy by taking what I want.
Right.
And then sometimes
you pay bills there.
And sometimes if we have a bag of candy that wasn't completely used, you never know. Maybe there's one I bought that I didn't tell anybody about. That
Or you
might
feel your sugar getting low or something like that. You feel whatever. You get yourself a little pick-me-up, even though you're going to crash even harder on the other side.
I never feel that.
No?
I know. The only things I get a craving for like that, like an absolute animal craving would be rare red meat.
Oh,
like
okay.
Like a blood craving or something. I just like
Wow.
I have to eat
okay.
something. I don't know.
All right, I got you. Everybody's got their thing.
But it's not just that. If he's already having, I'm getting past the whole nerve situation. What about everything else that much sugar could do to your system?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you say, working out and drinking enough water and all that and eating an otherwise normal diet. But if he weren't a professional athlete, can you imagine what would happen in retirement to the guy?
Well, he's one of these guys one of the first guys that did the blood restriction workouts as well, where they pretty much tie a tourniquet to your limbs and you get more out of them with less of a workout because there's no blood flowing to the muscle to oxygenate it. And guys had to stop doing it because there's been a couple of accidents, not in the NBA, but a couple of accidents where if you cut yourself or you fall during one of those slides, you can kill yourself and you can bleed out really bad. But he's always trying to make his diet better and improve his workouts, but that's a lot of sugar.
You got that sugar.